What's going on? I want to make a video here about how wrestling fans just all of a sudden want to be CM Punk fans, and I want to explain why or what it means. What I'm trying to explain. First of all, I am not a CM Punk fan. I choose not to be because, well, let me kind of explain why. Everybody, when CM Punk came in the WWE in 2007, I think it was right, 2007, he was in ECW, and no one really knew him. Well, didn't have very many fans. Won the ECW title. Not really that big of a deal. Until he got drafted over to Raw in 2008, and on June 30th, 2008, he cashed his Money in the Bank briefcase in with the help of Batista to capture his second world title, if you want to count the ECW title. Which, by the way, I was there live when he cashed it in. That moment, I was a pretty big fan. I was a fan of him when he did that. Of course, I would be since I was there live. I mean, I don't have any pictures of it, but I got the ticket stubs there on the wall. Yeah, I was a pretty good fan of him. He's doing pretty good. Defended his title in a couple of matches and lost the title like everybody else. Now, the thing that got me to go from liking him all the way down to the bottom and not liking him was, I don't know if anybody knows, they might know, but my favorite wrestler in the world is Jeff Hardy. And him and CM Punk had a pretty good feud. I liked it. It went from like May to August, I guess, of 09. Because May before that, I can't remember. It's in 09. It was before May. Anyways, Jeff Hardy was the champion. The World Heavyweight Champion, he won it. Extreme Rules, he had that ladder match with CM Punk, and he got it. Or Edge, sorry. My bad. Sorry, him and Edge won a ladder match. Extreme Rules 09. CM Punk cashed in his briefcase again. Screwed Hardy out of the title, and made me mad. I wasn't that mad. I was pretty mad, but okay, he'll get back. And he eventually did it at Night of Champions. July, he won the title, the World Heavyweight title. That was in July of 09. Now, this is after Jeff Hardy won the WWE title in December of 09 at Armageddon, and he lost a couple months later. But go on to 09, him and CM Punk, he was just, saying all this stuff that he's not clean, and he does these drugs and all that stuff, and I started to get underneath my skin. I ain't gonna lie, I was pretty aggravated about that. Then they had the build up, and finally they had booked on for SummerSlam 08, 09, which I have on DVD. I ordered it live, so I watched it live on pay-per-view. The thing is that it was a CM Punk and Jeff Hardy ladder match for the World Heavyweight title. Now, Jeff Hardy took a drug test, and he failed, but WWE was nice enough to let him have the match. Go ahead and have the match. And he had some good spots, and that's why he lost, because he had his last, I guess that would have been his last strike or whatever. But he went on to have the cage match with CM Punk on that SmackDown. That's where he had the speech saying, this is not goodbye forever, this is only the beginning, and see you all in the future and all that stuff. Then the very next week, well, let me back up a little bit. During the feud, he would I guess I can't say, you know, wherever Jeff Hardy was, CM Punk was there on SmackDown, just giving him hell. I guess they told him to say that. I don't know, but that started making me, you know, hate him a little bit more and a little bit more. And what drove me over the edge was, I believe, the week after Jeff Hardy left, CM Punk dressed up as Jeff Hardy came out to his entrance and all this different stuff, making fun, and that right there I just snapped right there, and I said, I'm gonna hate this motherfucker from now on. So since he did that in '09, I hate him. I just hate his fucking guts. It's plain and simple. I made a rant video on Punk a while back ago. You know, I gave it all on that one. I did a rant video on Jeff Hardy to tell him why I'm a Jeff Hardy fan. That was pretty long. You can go back and watch those. But you know, like I said, from there on, it really pissed me off, because he does that, and you know, Jeff Hardy had a fan base. I know I'm not the only Jeff Hardy fan out there in the world. There are a lot of people that are Jeff Hardy fans out there. I know his mistakes, and I really don't care about his mistakes. Because I know right now he's clean, he's healthy, he has a wife, he has a kid, he's a father, he's a dad, and you know, he has that helps him have positive stuff in his life, so that keeps him on the straight and narrow path. But you know, like I said, you know, after that, you know, it really pissed me off, and then it brings me to the, I guess, the final point of this video. Then you have, you know, Jeff Hardy goes away, CM Punk didn't really do anything. And all of a sudden he has this match where he's gonna leave the WWE and take the title with him at Money in the Bank in Chicago, which he does. But he comes back, and when he had the Cult of Personality theme song, you know, when he played it, I knew exactly who it was, and you know, I was like, really? You know, I was like, he's supposed to be gone. He comes out, and it's to this insane reaction with John Cena in the ring, and then, you know, he goes on the weeks after that. He goes on saying that he's the best in the world at all this different stuff. Now, you know, in my opinion, he fucking sucks. I'm sorry for the people that like CM Punk. I don't like CM Punk anymore. You know, it is what it is. If you like him, good. If you don't, good. You know. And then he just goes on. You know, he goes on to defend the title and best in the world and all this stuff, and demands all his own tour bus and all this stuff. And the point of this part of the video I'm trying to make is that all of a sudden, for, you know, since '07, nobody's really cared about him, and all of a sudden, and then he does a great promo, and all of a sudden, every wrestling fan is a CM Punk fan, whether they haven't been one or they have been one. And that's what pisses me off, is because people just all of a sudden, they fucking assume that CM Punk is the best, and they don't give a shit about any other wrestler but him, and just because he does one good promo makes him the best in the world. It fucking doesn't, guys, because you gotta have mic skills, you gotta have you know, you gotta hold world titles more than a couple of times, you gotta have experience, you know, you gotta have all these different things to be the best in the world. CM Punk's only been here since '07. There's other guys that are there, like Stone Cold, Triple H, The Rock, Kane, Undertaker, Jeff and Matt Hardy, John Cena. Now, John Cena's been here since '02, so it's been 10 years. He is definitely better than CM Punk, in my fucking opinion. If you don't like it, you don't know what to tell you. Because, you know, people, you know, I'm not going to understand if they get tired of seeing, you know, CM Punk as not CM Punk, but John Cena as the same champion. but you gotta know they did that for a reason, because one, he's the number one guy that sells the most merchandise, T-shirts. Everybody buys the spinner belt. That's the top seller. Movies, stuff like that. That's why, because everybody likes John Cena, and he's a top seller. That's why he's a champion for so long, so they can get ratings, money, pay-per-view bites, sold out arenas, and all that other stuff. That's why he was that. And I don't see CM Punk had, selling out arenas during, headlining main event and selling out arenas. He hasn't done that. That's another thing. And then he just calls himself the best in the world. And, he's definitely not, in my opinion. He hasn't, they haven't had any DVDs on him, a documentary. John Cena has had 3. Undertaker's 2, Kane's 1, Triple H 1, Stone Cold a couple. You gotta have all these different factors and stuff, to be the best in the world. You gotta have a good connection with the fans. John Cena had the rap gimmick, connect with the fans, and then all of a sudden, he is a real good guy. Everybody liked. He has this connection with the fans. He's the everybody, the Make-A-Wish and all those foundations and stuff like that, charities. They all want John Cena. I don't think CM Punk has done. Well, I think he's done a couple, but he hasn't done, a bunch of charity work. But that's just a couple of deals. That's the thing that pisses me off. He called himself the best in the world when he's really not, in my opinion. But yeah, I guess that's a little rant here. I just had to get this off my chest. It's been bothering me because I'm sick and tired of seeing all the people saying CM Punk's the best, John Cena sucks, and especially those people that were John Cena fans and they all of a sudden turn to CM Punk fans. That's the thing that pisses me off out there. Is when they do that. It just aggravates me. I'm a John Cena fan. I got the merchandise. I got the spinner belt. I got, John Cena t-shirts and all John Cena merchandise. But, yeah, that's my opinion. If you agree, if you disagree, whatever, comment below. You can friend me on Facebook. My link will be in the description box below. Yeah, just, I guess that's about it. I don't know, if you have any ideas for videos, I could do some more reviews on some DVDs I have. You can go back and look at my DVD reviews that I've already did, and you can go look at my DVD collection. And the only difference I have is I have WrestleMania 27 on DVD after you do that. Let me review. I like to review movies. But yeah, that's about it. It's 1990 Hardy 1, and I'm out.